I'm the development manager for this project and I'm incredibly passionate about it. I am going to be on site on a regular basis and look forward to seeing you as I move around.
Hi team, my name is David Aldred, LTM McGuinness Project Director for this prestigious Wellington project. Throughout this induction video, you'll meet members of the LTM McGuinness team you'll be working alongside, who will emphasise the following message: see it, own it, fix it. Our aim is that everybody goes home safe and unharmed, whilst paying great attention to our neighbours and the public.
For all operatives on site, you must be trained and competent in the task you are performing. If you're unsure, please ask management for advice and direction. Safety is everyone's responsibility. It doesn't matter what your position is in an organisation, we can all be leaders. One other key message I'd like to reiterate is never walk past a health and safety risk without trying to address it in some shape or form. It is not okay to think it is someone else's responsibility.
Please ensure you familiarise yourself with the critical risk poster on site. To identify the hazards on site, ask yourself, can I come into contact with an energy source? Be injured by poor job or plant design? Come into contact with a hazardous substance? Strain or sprain a muscle? Slip, trip or fall on the same or lower level? Be struck by or strike against anything? Be caught in or between anything? These are key to identifying the critical risks on site. Mayfair House is located off Aurora Terrace with a public car park operating around the main side entrance. A large number of people are occupying the neighbouring buildings at all times throughout the day. Our main aim is to deliver a successful project with minimal fuss to our neighbours. Please be vigilant and considerate of other building occupants when accessing works in this area.
The main entrance to the site is here off Aurora Terrace. This is a working live car park, so please be mindful of and aware of public, pedestrians and other cars as we come through. There is a weight limit in the car park of 4.5 tonne per axle. If your load exceeds this, we will need to manage the load from our loading zone here on the street. For all deliveries, we have a delivery board. Please make sure that we work together so we can complete this and get our loads managed in safely.
Public access only through this entrance.
As part of this refurbishment, we'll be adding a new stairwell and lift. This will involve cutting penetrations through the building. One of the major hazards associated with this work would be falling from heights. This is a restricted work zone.
If you're doing any work on the roof, you will be required to fill out a permit located in the site office. When accessing the area, please ensure you sign in and out of the roof register. There are also a couple of key risks in this area: asbestos, which will be removed by a licensed contractor, live antennas, and the car park and glass atrium below. All these risks will need to be identified in the completed site permit. If there are any questions, please ask our site team.
It's important to make sure that you sign in and out at the start and end of every shift. You can use the iPad or your smartphone to do this through the Sign On Site app.
Here is our hazard board, list all the hazards on site. Here is our emergency procedures board. Here's our first aid kit, our evacuation procedures, a typical floor plan with our safety stations, and the fire manual call points are located on each level. And our permits are located here as well. In an emergency, the alarm will sound, we'll evacuate the building and head over to the muster point. This is the muster area. Don't worry about signing out, just come straight here.
On all our LTM McGuinness sites, we operate with a red, yellow and green card system. So the red card is for significant offences, i.e. you're working at height in an unsafe manner or you've failed the drug and alcohol test. Yellow card is for basic things like your electrical leads and tools not being currently tagged, or you haven't signed in, or you're not wearing the correct PPE while you're on site. The green card is our positive reinforcing one, which we have a monthly draw to give out a significant prize from one of our sponsors.
At all times on site, you must be wearing a hard hat, high vis and steel caps. For task-specific jobs, you might need Glasses. Gloves. Dust protection. You must be trained and qualified to use the following equipment or work under certain conditions. It is mandatory that a JHA must be completed for all these tasks. If you're unsure about any of the equipment, please raise your hand.
JHAs or risk assessments are required to be completed when a significant hazard has been identified in the working environment that puts the workers involved in the task or other workers or the public at risk of injury through failing to manage the hazards and associated risks correctly. Workers must review their own company hazard registers and the LTM hazard register as necessary to understand what control measures must be put in place to manage the hazard and associated risks. Work like someone who cares for you is watching.
Stay safe, everyone!
There's some key safety points at Mayfair House. Risers, asbestos, new lift shaft and stairs, and work to roof.
Hey Dad, are you going to be safe working up there? Hey Dad, do you have a permit for that? Thanks, Dad.
Permits are located at the sign-in desk and must be signed off by an LTM supervisor or health and safety officer before starting work. If you don't have a permit, you can't do the job. You need a permit for the following. If you're found without a permit, work will cease and you, and possibly the supervisor, will be carded.
All leads must be plugged into an RCD Jackson box. Ensure all power tools and leads are tested and tagged every 3 months. Treat all cables as live and use cable testers before cutting into any cable. Before altering any services, please check the floor isolation check sheet to see if that floor's isolation has been isolated. And finally, electrical isolation permits need to be signed by the subcontractor following the isolation. Environmental hazards must be controlled at all times. Ensure work areas are kept clean. Asbestos has its own safety procedures. Finally, a licensed company has been appointed to remove all asbestos within this building.
It is important that all health and safety incidents are reported immediately to your supervisors and LT McGuinness to ensure that we learn from our mistakes and that we make the site a safer place to work. Incidents include unsafe acts, near misses and harm injuries. Incident forms are available from the LT McGuinness safety officers or LT McGuinness supervisor. Green cards will be issued to those who report unsafe acts and any areas where improvements to safety can be made.
That's about it from us, and it's now time to take your quiz. Good luck.
I would lastly like to reinforce LT McGuinness's commitment to safety. It is always at the forefront of our thinking and is a cornerstone of our culture.
Now you have all the information and can join us safely. Let's get this job moving along. Cheers, mate.